If I tell you that the Xiaomi Airdots Pro 2 sounds really good, will you believe me? Selamat pagi! Good morning everyone, Kenneth here, and today we are comparing the Xiaomi Air 2 versus the Tiso IX, which I've got my full review on. So yes, I think this sounds really good, although in a very different way than my usual good for in-ear earbuds. And yeah, I'm just really excited to talk about this because this is the first time I'm comparing a non-in-ear true wireless earbuds, and I feel like it hasn't got much love these days. There are people who just don't like in-ear earbuds and prefer this one, so this is the video for you. Before starting, I would really appreciate it if you could give the video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And also, I just want to be transparent with you so that you can trust me. This Xiaomi Air 2 is actually provided by Tiso, and they were really nice actually. They just say something like, so do you want to compare it? And I'm just like, yeah, that'll be interesting. And so I've got to check out the best that Xiaomi has to offer today. So let me start by telling you the price first. The Xiaomi Air 2 starts at $60 and the Tiso IX sells at around 20 to 30 bucks. And I know this is a totally unfair comparison again. It has such a huge price difference, but actually we don't have too much options on the non-in-ear earbuds range. And I find it interesting to compare this Tiso to the much more expensive Xiaomi and see how good actually Tiso is and how much more you can get by spending more money. So with all those things aside, let's start the comparison. I want to start with this special thing that you can find on both of these earbuds, but you cannot find on literally any other earbuds. And that is the dual mode Bluetooth. Both of these uses them I first discovered on the Tiso IX. It surprised me by how well it works, and the gist of it is this. You can pick whatever side you want, you can switch between left or right whenever you want, and the switching will be seamless. There are no repairing, fussing about all that within your phone. You just pair once and then you can use it with whatever side you want. There are no master-slave earbuds. Both of these can be the main one, and this is truly the pinnacle of true wireless earbuds design. Though I would like to quickly point out that the first time pairing goes slightly to the Tiso IX here, because on the Xiaomi Airdots Pro 2 you have this small button here on the side of the case which you have to hold, and then the lights LED here will blink. You can then pair to your phone, but on the Tiso IX it's just a matter of opening the case and it will be available to pair to any device. But honestly, that's nitpicking already at the start of the video. Both of these are good. And now let's start with the usual stuff, and here are the things that I've noticed after using them for a couple weeks. Let's start by looking at the overall design first. This has slightly more squared off, rounded-ish shape, while this is completely round at all sides. Actually, this is quite sharp compared, but it's okay. It's nothing really to nitpick. Both of these don't support wireless charging. This uses USB Type-C and this uses micro USB. It has LED on the case, this one on the front and this is on the back. Glows red when it needs charging. When it's finished, it glows white. And also here it is orangey and it will blink to show you how much the battery inside. 2 times is 25%, 3 times is 50%, something like that. While opening the case, I think the lid, both of them are plastic, so there are no specific winner, although it feels a little bit more flimsy here compared to here, which is a little bit more solid. This is glossy, by the way, glossy finish, and this is matte finish. Overall, I think they're fine. They protect, they charge the earbuds just fine. I have no complaints other than this is quite pricey for what it is. Probably I would want like some wireless charging would be good. And also, it doesn't have any LEDs on the earbuds while the Tiso have it. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but you cannot know if this is already paired to your phone or not. You gotta put it to your ear and hear the beeps. Oh shoot, this is out of battery. So yeah, you gotta hear on the beeps. It will tell you when it's connected to the phone and when it's being worn, because it has an optical sensor here, and that is also another special thing. I'm gonna talk about it in the control section later. Now, talking about the earbuds itself, you know, this is AirPods style. They are both made out of plastic fully, and they both goes partially inside your ear, just like that. This differs to in-ear earbuds in two ways. First is you have no passive noise isolation, very little. And so the bass are not the strongest points in these kind of earbuds. But the good thing is you can hear your surroundings very well. So this will be great if you're using this outside and you want to be aware of your surroundings. And the second part is actually not so good. It's because they are fully plastic that comes in contact with your ear. Hurting is just a matter of time. So comparing between two of these, the Tiso has a slightly bigger ear tips, if I can say it. Fits better in the ear, unlike the smaller ones like the AirPods i10TWS. They easily fall, especially on my left ear, and this one has fall once. The Tiso never fall from my ear, though at the cost of hurting even faster. So I can wear this for about 2 hours before it starts hurting. The Xiaomi, if you think it's better, it's only marginally better. It's like 30 minutes to 60 minutes better before it too starts hurting. So yeah, as I've said again, hurting is just a matter of time between these two. But the good thing is, I don't know if this is a good thing actually, the battery, they claim up to 4 hours, but I found them to be around 3 hours. And so by the time you start hurting, you will also want to charge these anyway. So it's good to take breaks from time to time. And okay, I'm sorry it took this long, but now let's talk about the looks. And I know the Xiaomi Air 2 looks very stimulating. So yeah, seen in a case like this, it doesn't look very weird, but on the pictures, what is wrong with this? I think when they're designing it, they're like, okay guys, there are too many AirPods clone out right now, we need to make something different, and they ended up making something that looks like a cell tower antenna. But anyways, in all seriousness, I don't feel weird while wearing this. They are fine. It is shorter than the Tiso IX, if that makes any difference, and the Tiso is actually a little bit on the bigger side compared to the normal AirPods, but none of these are weird to me. I think they're all acceptable, unlike that one was called Then again, just taking a look quickly at the earbuds, this looks normal with a physical button there. And this, what is this big old black hole here? But if this is a part of why it sounds so good, which I'm gonna talk about in a minute, you know what? Whatever. And also microphones, the Tiso has one on the side here because at the bottom is the charging contact pins. On the Xiaomi Air 2, which we're gonna test later, it has two microphones, one facing upward and one facing downwards to your mouth so that this can catch what you're speaking. We'll see how it compares on the call test later, but there's one very little detail that, I don't know, I just would like to point it out to you, is that on the Xiaomi, the stem is made out of matte finish, while this is on the glossy finish. Sprinkle of elegance, but functionally it doesn't matter much really, so yeah. Moving on. Now let's talk about the controls. The Tiso IX has a good old physical button that works well. It has basic controls like play or pause on one tap, hold on the right side for next song, hold on the left side for previous song, and double tap for voice assistant. There are no volume control, but if you only use one, especially on the left side, the hold gesture will be next song instead of previous song. So that's really important and that is really good. The Xiaomi, on the other hand, while having good and very responsive touch control, is still disappointing because it is still the crippled controls Xiaomi is known for. Only double tap on the right side for play or pause and double tap on the left side for voice assistant. You cannot go even for the next song, and never mind volume control. And speaking of which, I do use this with an iPhone, so I don't get the extra special features like opening the lid to see the battery of the earbuds and the battery level of the case, and also customizable 3 taps, which is pretty good actually. It solves the problem of next song, and it also has always on voice assistant 小爱同学. But honestly, as an international product, I don't think this could be of much use. All these features are available in the very latest MIUI 11 if I'm correct. So yeah, if you have it, here's some bonus features. Although on the bright side, the touch sensor, as I've said before, is very responsive. I've never had this kind of instant reaction from an earbud controlling my phone before. It's something like when you tap the first one, it already sends the request to your phone, kind of like waiting for your second tap to confirm it. So double tap 1, 2 and song is paused just like that. It's very quick, very responsive, and also accidental touches are very rare. And I also grew to like the optical sensor here. So if I'm walking on the street, for example, and I suddenly meet a friend, I can just take one out, music stop on both, and I can start having a conversation. Very natural, and I don't have to fuss around with the controls or my phone anymore. It's just a nice added feature, and I can take this as a plus point. Siri though, while it doesn't have too much delay when you double tap it and it starts listening to your command, most of the time there will be a problem with my internet. It cannot catch me when it's really windy. It's just nowhere close as reliable as a physical button, not even a touch control. So now let's talk about battery life. If you have noticed, I said it only lasts as long as it starts hurting. Yes, this dual mode Bluetooth does consume a little bit more power, especially on the main earbud, which is the one earbud that you take on first. Even though they both advertise it as 4 hours, but I usually found that number to be 3 and 3.5 hours. And I also tweeted my battery testing between these two earbuds and more earbuds in the future on my Twitter, so if you want to know, make sure to follow me there. So yeah, battery life is actually not the best thing on earth here. This is a bare minimum of battery life that I can accept. You know, 2 and 2.5 hours I would complain about the battery life, but 3 hours, okay. What's a problem though is the battery of the case. So the Tiso IX, if you've seen my full review, this is easily a full week performer. On the other hand, this case really disappoint me. Xiaomi, I don't know how much battery you put inside. How come this only lasts me for about 2-3 days max before the LED starts bugging me with its red light? I have to charge it, and 2-3 days after that I have to charge it again, and this is completely dead right now. This is where I draw the line. This case is just not enough. Finally, now let's talk about the most important thing, the sound quality. So how can I say the Xiaomi Air 2 sounds really good? You know, sound quality make or break earbuds. It is the sole purpose of what these are for, and anything other than that are extra features. Carrying these two in my pouch every day, I find that I keep taking the Xiaomi first, then the Tiso IX after this have died. I just enjoy it much more, even though it doesn't have as much bass as Tiso. It is not as loud as the Tiso, and sometimes I have to listen to 100% when I'm outside, especially in a bus, and I have never done that with any other true wireless earbuds before. So yeah, about that volume, that could be problematic if you listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or even YouTube videos like I do. I just put the video in my pocket and listen to it. These are just not loud enough, and that is alarming actually. With the Tiso, I can crank the volume up much more and I can listen to it, and yeah, you have to be careful of that. Speaking of the bass, outside I cannot hear much bass at all. The bass, the music instrument, they are basically none actually. It's just the drum hits and like the mid bass, not the sub bass lower portion part, but that is outdoors in noisy environment. If you take this into a quiet place, the story change 180 degree. I would use one word to describe how this sounds: clarity. Vocals are so clear and truthful, and the closest thing that I've heard is the Audio Technica, which I forgot the model, but I put the picture here. No other true wireless earbuds I've heard even compares with the clarity of the Xiaomi Air 2. And the sound curve is actually what I can call a flat sound curve, if not a little bit treble boosted. The bass just enough for you to notice it, for you to complement the music, and makes the whole soundstage really believable. I just love listening to acoustics, piano sounds with these. They sound amazing in quiet places. It feels like I have removed a blur layer that I didn't even notice it was there before when I was just listening to the Sabbath E12, for example. The bass is okay for pop songs, but for EDM, if you listen to a lot of rap, dance music, I don't think this will satisfy you. It's just not enough. Nowhere close as enough. So I've seen this trait before on the much cheaper Redmi Airdots, and I think this is the sound quality that Xiaomi is aiming for. This, as their flagship, is their true vision of how music should sound like. But it comes with a huge cost, aside from all the problems that I've mentioned before. I believe true wireless earbuds like this shines the best when you're using it outdoors. It is cable-free, hassle-free. I came from using a wired earphones. The wires just get stuck on everything, the rubbing noise, wind noise, it sounds so bad like that. And a true wireless solves all these. But this type of sound just doesn't suit outdoor use. I know I still do appreciate the clarity, the truthful sound. It is still honestly very good. That's why I keep taking this over the Tiso IX first. But I still need bass for me to, you know, have it a little bit more fun. I don't want to listen to sad song every time. And yes, of course, I know that we do use this indoors as well, but for most of the places that's outdoors, and I think the Tiso IX is still my preferred choice. So let's talk about the sound of the Tiso IX real quick. In my opinion, this has much more usable sound when you're using it outdoors. It has much louder volume, not as loud as the wired earbuds. It has more bass even at the loss of clarity, and to be honest, this actually sounds muddy compared to the Air 2, like super muddy. But for what it is, it sounds okay. That's how I can describe it. It sounds okay. Sometimes when I miss the clarity of the Air 2, I will set my EQ to treble booster, and it will help much actually. Like, it is pretty responsive to EQ changes, so that is also a good thing. So overall, I am very impressed by how the Air 2 sounds, but not everyone would like the sound though. It is a little bit more on the treble side, and the S voices like that I just said just now, the cymbals of the drums, it can hurt when you're listening with this. And on the other hand, the Tiso IX, decent sound for 20 bucks, but it's nowhere as clear as the Xiaomi. Both compared to the Apple AirPods, the Xiaomi straight up lacks bass. The Tiso lacks the clarity of the Xiaomi, also lacks the bass of the AirPods, but you know, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. Okay, now let's compare the microphone on the Tiso versus Xiaomi. Okay, so now I'm using the Xiaomi Air 2. How do I look? I'm using both of them in my ear. I cannot tap to identify which microphone is used because I did it before and it actually registered as a double tap and it ended the video call, so I'm not gonna do that. Let's test out real quick how the switching between the microphones are. And we're just gonna switch between earbuds to see switching has any delay or some sort. Right now I'm putting the left side into the case, and there you go, we are using the right microphone. And let's try it out again. I'm gonna put the right side back into the case. There you go. So we are using the left microphone. As far as this goes, I think this is exactly the same as the Tiso IX. The switching is very seamless. Yeah, we're just gonna switch to the Tiso IX real quick here. Okay, so right now we are on the Tiso IX. Do you notice any difference in sound quality? Is the Xiaomi better? Is this better? This is the indoor call test of both of them. I'm not gonna do the same thing that I did before because I did it already in its full review, so check it out for that. And now let's go outside and check how the call quality is outside. Okay, so right now we are on the Xiaomi Air 2 outdoor call test right now. It's not very noisy as usual, but we do have some wind blowing right now. And this is the call test of the Xiaomi Air 2. Actually, the people there are pretty noisy too. So yeah, what do you think of the sound quality? I'll post my thoughts later on a pinned comment. Right now we'll switch to the Tiso IX and we'll see how the quality drops or stays the same. Alright, so right now we are on the Tiso IX. What do you think of the sound quality? Does it drop? The microphone here is only one. It's at the stem here, not at the bottom. As opposed to the Xiaomi, it has one at the bottom and one at the very top. Actually, I wanted to take a package also there, but we're just gonna get the call test done first. Last but not least, this is the microphone on my iPhone 6s with a multi-case. So actually the microphone is ported to the front. Probably you'll hear this clearer than any regular normal phone. Okay, that is noisy. But yeah, this is how it compares. This is the voice that you usually get. This is the Tiso IX and this is the Xiaomi Air 2. Alright, we're done here. Let's move on to the next section. Now it's issues time. Connection-wise, both of these never had any real disconnections. They are both very solid performers. switching between earbuds are so very well. I've never had to repair them, factory reset or anything. Those are just non-existent. There are some rare, very rare sound stuttering though. Probably that's because, you know, some usual Bluetooth problems, but that's about it. Though I have more complaints for the Xiaomi Air 2. First, sometimes the song can skip to the previous song by itself, or actually when I'm listening in the middle of the song and the song just goes back to the start. There's nothing touching the earbuds, nothing touching my phone, nothing touching the case, if that makes any difference. It happens frequent enough for me to notice it. I feel like there's something wrong with this. And second, where is wireless charging? I've mentioned this before. The case battery is not enough. I have many wireless chargers around that even I can use it with my Sabbath. You know, like I'm just complaining because of the price here. And third, this is just funny, but you see, I can do this. I mean, they're there, like, there you go. Okay, bye-bye. I got it. Actually, when I'm putting it inside like this, that never bothered with me, but you know, I just find it interesting. Anyways, that's about it. Now let's see how they perform latency wise. Bought this like 4 years ago. Use it for 3 years. I've been enjoying my time with it. It has ANC built in. Finally, here is my conclusion. The Xiaomi Air 2 is a terrific earbud. Sorry, let me repeat that. A terrific sounding earbuds for the price. Nothing comes close in terms of clarity, but it comes with too much caveats. First, the low amount of bass and also low volume in this thing makes it a hard sell for outdoor use. Also, the case battery is just not enough. The controls are bad as usual, and for $60 US, it's very hard for me to recommend the Xiaomi Air 2. With the exception being you'll be mostly listening indoors and you like clear sounds and you're okay with the design, then nothing's stopping you to get this. Tiso IX on the other hand, it's the user experience in a whole that makes it a much more usable earbuds. It is louder while having a little bit more bass too. The case holds enough charge for a week of use, and the dual mode Bluetooth inside, it just strikes the right balance between all these features. Most importantly, the price. So yes, this is still the lowest entry price for this heavenly true wireless experience, and this is one that I can easily recommend. And I'm gonna check out also the QCY T5, so don't forget to subscribe for that. I'll try to compare them between these, but that's also an in-ear earbuds, not a non-in-ear. And can we just forget about QCY T5? I had so many issues with that, pairing issues. I have to factory reset a lot, and also the touch sensor. Oh, so that's pretty much it for the video. Don't hesitate to leave a comment down below or contact me at Instagram and Twitter, anywhere. I'll try to reply you, and we're gonna have some little chats. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Totally hate my computer. I just recorded for half an hour and I've lost all my mic recordings. Gotta keep smiling and keep going.